Okay, welcome to this very segment of the VAR Podcast to celebrating the 5th birthday lecture of Ambassador Wani Ikenna. I want to say a very big thank you to our very own audience. Thank you for always being there. Today, we're going to be discussing on the state of our dream, youth, leadership, and the urgency of now. Today with me, we have two very wonderful and resounding young men. By my right, he is a young man who has spent over 15 years doing this public speaking with global best practices. He is the founder, CEO of Monday Diamond Foundation, a very proud and illustrious son of Nkerefi. Welcome, Monday Diamond Ani.
Thank you, listeners. I'm glad to be here. Stay tuned. Then we learn in a hard and soft way.
Thank you very much. Odozi Obodo is a very dynamic young man. If we liken him to warfare, then he should be a nuclear weapon. Now, by my left is a very handsome young man who has always been in the field of forest, turning bushes to wonderful edifice. He is a realtor and the CEO of Field Face Limited, and also founder Ben Nam Foundation.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here today. Listeners, I urge you to stay tuned as we discuss the issues on ground today while we celebrate the birthday of Ambassador Ikenna Ogwai. Thank you once again.
All right. Tonight, we are not just talking about ideas. We're talking about action. We want to live here with clarity on where we stand as a people and what we must do now. Monday, Diamond Ani. What comes to your mind when you hear the state of our dream, personally and nationally?
Thank you so much. First of all, let me commend you, Ambassador Ikenna Ogwai, for this wonderful initiative. Been consistent in doing this virtual lecture for 5 years. This is the 5th time we are doing it. It actually shows you're a patriotic Nigerian who wants Nigeria to work and work for the betterment of all. And that is the Nigeria of my dream. A situation whereby we thrive devoid of religion, devoid of gender, devoid of tribe, devoid of color, devoid of age, devoid of academic or educational status. A situation whereby people will be as happy like people in Finland. People will be as happy like people in Scotland. People will be as happy like British citizens who always feel proud of their identity, their flag, their national anthem, and so on and so forth. But things have gone wrong, perhaps because of maladministration, or perhaps because of religious differences and ethnic bigotry, often championed by so many persons who feel a particular tribe is minor, a particular tribe is major, and a particular tribe is not ripe to occupy the leadership seats of the nation Nigeria. And this is where issues come in different angle. Nigeria is just like a keg of a gunpowder. But the problem is, if we talk about the dream now, the people in Nepal, Tibet, took the law into their hands when the government banned social media because their youth, their citizens have been protesting. Not physical protests, but through their social media handles. That, look, the government is not doing well, especially the Prime Minister. You say our educational system is wrong, but your children are in Europe, America, England, schooling, and all that. Then, after much criticism, the government of Nepal banned social media. And they said our source of income, even when there's no job, our source of livelihood, what we use to ease the anger and every other thing, and you ban it. Then they took to the streets, and the anger escalated. Everybody amongst the top echelon of power in Nepal had a fair share of it in a negative way. Such a thing may happen in Nigeria if care is not taken. I don't say this to massage anyone's ego, but if it continues this way, revolution may take place in Nigeria. And I tell you, I will be part of it. If it happens, I will be part of it because I want things to change.
Exactly.
I'm a patriotic Nigerian. I like to do things in the right way. And that is what I expect our leaders to do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Monday, Diamond, Ani. I'm now over to you, the Big Ben. When you hear the state of our dream, what is that Nigeria that you envisage?
Let me start by talking about what patriotism is. You know, patriotism simply means one's love for his country, his or her country. And that love can always only come about when there is welfare of the citizens. Just like an average American will tell you the American dream.
Yeah.
They'll tell you they'll probably hang the flag in front of their porch, their front porch, simply because they have regard for the flag. When this national anthem is being sung, everyone respects it and stands still and sings it with passion. It is only possible when there is a welfare for the citizens. There is care and the interest of the citizens being the paramount element in every decision-making process in that country, in the country. So the Nigerian of my dream is a country where when the youth finish from school, the first line of thought is not relocating abroad. The Nigerian of my dream is the Nigeria where people go to the hospital and get good care. I've been in the hospital one day and a simple thing. Okay, let me not even use that. It's a gory one. There was a time someone I knew did a couple of surgeries in Nigeria. And it got to a point where they need to fly the person abroad because they couldn't do it anymore here. They got abroad and they discovered that even the surgeries they did in Nigeria was not necessary. And when they just asked, where are you from? They said, we are from Nigeria. The surgery they did in the spine and also on the waist, it wasn't necessary. The health care where even those people that do not have the finance can go and get basic but top-notch. You know, when we use the word basic, some people think maybe it's the barest minimum. Basic is relative. Basic can be a world class, but just that it is accessible to everyone. Go to our hospitals here. There was a day I came to the hospital because sometimes I have, if I'm awake, it will be as if I'm snoring because of some, issues like that. So I came to the hospital on emergency. The nurse, after shouting, the nurse came out and told me that, hey, this is an emergency. I can't breathe. I need someone to attend to me immediately. The nurse told me that I should go and sit down there and wait. This is an emergency. The Nigeria of my dream is the Nigeria where, even though I'm not saying the government should give its citizens money, make the environment enable for talents to thrive. We're talking about electricity. You don't even need to give the citizens anything. Just give them electricity. They know, give them electricity, charge them for the electricity. They know what to make use of. Make use of the electricity for. Basic amenities.
Okay, thank you very much. What we are trying to achieve today, we have 3 segments to what we're doing. Firstly, the youth. Secondly, leadership. And the urgency now. Having led IMT as the SUG president, former, having been in the circle of the young people, having done so many interventions with respect to the young people, I want to throw this question to you. Monday Diamondani. What is the current young people's involvement in shaping Nigeria?
Thank you. First of all, the word young people could be comparatively said to be youth. And what is youth? Youth is a stage of life between childhood and adulthood, often or typically characterized by mental, physical, and psychological growth. Then, the definition of a youth. World Health Organization measures youth from 10 to 25. United Nations measures youth from 15 to 25. ECOWAS Charter measures youth from 15 to 35. Nigerian National Youth Policy measures youth from 18 to 35. But conventionally, in Nigeria, because of the political system, someone at 40 could be said to be a youth.
The youth president.
Yes. Someone at 45 and sometimes 50.
National youth leader.
To be a youth. And because of the political connotation, you may want to oppose that notion when, for instance, Sokubo, who is the president of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, who I know, if I'm to guess, even if I'm a wrong guesser, I'll guess him to be 50 or 55. Now, the Youth Charter has already defined the age of a youth. Nigerian National Youth Policy, 18 to 35. But the youth president is almost 50. How do you change this narrative? On the other side of the coin, you could be a youth by thinking and attitude. Sometimes you could be 50 and you behave like a child. Sometimes you could be 20 and you behave like an adult. Depends on your mental capacity and behavioral attitude. So coming to the young persons getting involved in changing the political narrative of the country, whether you like it or not, politics is inevitable anywhere in the world. And that is why the most powerful or the highest stage of power is the political power before economic and religious power. Political power can influence so many things, economically, religiously, and otherwise. So our youth need to imbibe this culture of getting involved in electioneering, even though we are still at the level where so many people may say, I don't have faith when I vote.
Yeah.
So many people may say, if I vote, my vote may not count. But I believe with the consolidation of electoral reform by the INEC, based on so much pressure from individuals and organizations, civil liberty groups, if electoral reform takes place in total in INEC in the country, you can be sure that when you vote, your vote will count. That is important. And because of this, so many of our young persons feel their vote doesn't count. And they show political apathy. You discover that on the day of the electioneering, people will be playing football in the field. If you ask them, they will tell you they've already known who the winner will become.
So
that before the election, they know the winner. That is the problem. Now, the issue of social media, which has provided serious platform for so many young persons to thrive and escape poverty, has become inevitable, especially now that monetization has taken place in Nigeria. I remember Nigeria is a very large market anywhere you go in the world. A rich man in Nigeria can own 15 cars and you don't pay tax for that. A rich man in UK can own 2 cars and he pays tax for that. So every country that produces much goods targets Nigeria as the heart of Africa in market. Now, our youth engage in social media content creation. Most of them would tell you, in as much as I'm making money here, politics can go to hell. Leadership can go to hell. Some will even tell you that education is scam. Because someone who just finished WAEC would go into content creation
and start making.
Some of them who are still in secondary school will go into content creation and start making money. And they forget that leadership and politics shape everything you do in your environment, in your state, in your country. If you make 1 million naira through content creation, what about how much you pay to recharge or to subscribe your DSTV, your GoTV, electricity, and other things? You discover that you make that money and you are paying it back.
Exactly.
Because the government is not providing the enabling environment for you to thrive. So our youth should develop interest in politics and leadership. They should get involved in civil liberty organizations. Okay. The issue of Gen Z abandoning leadership is a very big mistake, because the more you abandon leadership and make money through other means, the more you spend that money frivolously without making much savings.
Okay. Thank you, Odozi Obodo. One thing about people that are so vast and prolific is that when you allow them, or this so I got Lily. Now there is something you said, Big Ben, when you were making an illustration. You kept on talking about when you see an American, they tell you the American dream. Do we have the Nigerian dream? If yes, elaborate. But if we don't, do our youth have a clear vision of the dream they want for Nigeria?
From my own point of view,
yeah,
there is the Nigerian dream is to relocate.
This is big.
Yes, the Nigerian dream is to relocate.
Relocate to where?
Outside the country. Canada, UK, even Burkina Faso.
So why?
Because they don't see the possibility of success. That is, I'm in the youth space.
Yes.
I'm in the youth space. So I run mentorship programs and I have interactions with so many youths, and I understand how they reason. Most people that come to me for, mentoring and maybe just to share their ideas and their thoughts and lift for me to, talk to them. Most of them, you see the defeated mindset in them. Not that they are defeated as a person, but the environment has made them to feel, okay, it can't work here. So they all believe that once they leave the shores of Nigeria, things become better for them. But personally, I do not buy that idea. You know why? If everybody leaves the country, who will fix the country? That is one. Like Odozobodo said, the political apathy is part of the issues that is troubling us in this country. Now, we know the best brains that can run some of these things. But because we've chosen not to be part of it, some of them might think, oh, I don't count. But if 1,000 of us comes together, then we count. You understand? If 1 million of us comes out, then we count. But they look at it from an individual perspective. Secondly, the government, like I said earlier, has not given the next generation the confidence to believe that it will get better. Everyone currently in this country believes that it will keep getting worse. I remember some years ago, my dad told me one time that he did a contract in the 70s for 500 and something thousand naira. Then dollar, I think it should be 70s, yeah, dollar was less than naira. Naira was more than the dollar. It was 75 kobo for $1. So he'll tell you that I was alive before dollar hit 1 naira. And I'm alive when dollar is 1,000 something naira. Now, when as a young person, looking at what my dad have seen for the past 50 years, what do you think I'll do? It's simple to believe, oh, if these people have seen it over this year, that means it will not get better. And currently, we know the economic issues and situation we're all in this country right now. Someone yesterday told me that it has never been this bad. Ever. Yes, we always complain, yes, this is bad. But right now, it has never been this bad. And that is what makes people lose faith in the country. Because if there are, yes, we understand this bad, but if we are making a progression towards a better society, people can hang on for a few years. People can believe that these policies will get us to the promised land in a couple of years. They can hang on. But when you are not seeing light at the end of the tunnel, what will you do?
That's a very striking one. It has never been this bad. Today, I have the singular honor to be speaking with a young man who has passed through the youth constituency. Odozobodo, it has never been this bad.
Honestly.
It has never been this bad. That is a mindset issue. What will you advise the young people? What kind of mindset going further, knowing that it has never been this bad? What mindset and habit would you want for the Nigerian youth to build since it has never been this bad?
Okay. My advice first is to my fellow youth. They should continue to be resilient, be patriotic, because we can't destroy the nation. If we destroy Nigeria, we don't have any other Nigeria. Then, technology is the next big thing that is happening now across the globe. Our youth should understand that you don't need to be a PhD holder before you become a tech wizard or a tech enthusiast and do things in a positive way. Now, skill acquisition is something that is inevitable and our people should get into it. Big Ben is a realtor. Big Ben is also versatile as an entrepreneur. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm into so many things as a young man. That is why some people most times ask me, when is your appointment coming? And I would tell them, I am not bothered. I am meaningfully, economically, and vastly engaged, both in entertainment, both in the media, both in the liquor business, both in the real estate business, and event host. And so, if this road closes, another one opens. That is how I have built myself over the years. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. When I decided to bear the name Diamond, because I want my children to be born with silver spoon, golden spoon, and diamond spoon. Yeah. That is what life is all about. So, if at your growing up, you didn't see life as a bed of roses, you have to struggle. And I also commend those young persons who have reached that and are trying to be richer than their dad. Because most times, young persons that find themselves in affluence family usually end up becoming nuisance in the society. Because while they're growing up, so many things are there for them, like beds of roses. But they say, yes, my father made name, I'm going to make more name than my father. Then some of us whose father didn't make such name, we want to make name so that our children will have good name. That is what we are doing. And so, whether you are from a rich home, you are from a humble home, or from a poor home, you have to try as much as possible to understand that Nigeria belongs to everybody. There is no one that owns the country Nigeria. If you are counting census, if you are 250 million people, if one person is minus, it will remain 240-something million people. Yeah. So that simply means that all of us come together to make up the entity known as Nigeria. So acquisition of skill is important.
All right.
I will also advise our young persons to look into agro-business while some go into tech. I am a farmer. I have a piggery.
And it has given birth.
Yes.
You just gave birth.
Yes, in my piggery. Yes, I received the call in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then one also gave birth about 2 weeks ago.
So we move.
So that expanding. They're expanding. So that is what someone needs to do. You must not sit down and say the government is not doing well. Yes, the government is not doing well, mainly at the central. But at the state level, there are some governors that have conscience that are doing well.
Okay,
not let's leave
the aspect of government.
Okay.
Yes, then I'll come back to you again. Why I say we leave the aspect of the government is that most people feel like why Nigeria is not good, government has to provide everything. So,
but I don't believe in that ideology.
That's why we're saying most people. Now, Big Ben, there's something Odozi Obodo said. I was trying to avoid that segment, and I talked about the mindset and habits. Young people are in the vanguard of change. You know, it pains when we keep calling people that are outside. Look at the president of France, a very young person.
Emmanuel Macron.
Yes, a very young person. Look at the Ukrainian president,
Zelensky.
So when we talk about these people outside, it pains us. There is a man called the former governor of Enugu State, Senator Chimaroke. He was a young man. Pat Utomi came into government in his 20s.
26. Economic advisor for my head of state.
And this is the 21st century of sight and sound. Very quick. As one who has been in these youth development issues, what are the skills that you can suggest for our young people in this 21st century?
Well, the times are moving very fast. Times are moving very fast. And one must always think to acquire necessary skill that is relevant for the future. Not popular ones, because most things that have gone mainstream are already outdated. Now, when we come to the issue of tech, like Odozi Obodo said, most people will say AI. AI now does everything. So why will you go and be learning graphic designing when there is an app that you can do 2 or 3 buttons, clicks, and the design will appear? All right. So when we're talking about tech, we must pay attention to AI, towards AI, and not just tech generally, because most people, once they say tech, they say data analysis,
Digital marketing.
Yeah. Digital marketing is very relevant. Right now, we're looking for a digital marketer for my company. And we know the importance of such. It's no longer the era of traditional real estate marketing, because you can only reach, okay, let's just say my contacts, I have 5,000 people. Out of the 5,000 people, how many have the purchasing power? And the people from the people that have the purchasing power, how often will they buy for us to remain afloat? Rather, we are now chasing, expanding the market, reaching even the international clientele. All right. So that is where the work of a digital marketer comes in. And like Ojozobo also said, agriculture can never go out of. I'm trying to set up my farm. All right. Because I've seen that in as much as we do the real estate business, we also need to do the agriculture business. Food, shelter, and clothing is the basic need of man. And for youths that want to maximize the future, they have to think in these 3 directions. Food, which is agriculture. Shelter, which is real estate. Clothing. Fashion. These are the 3 major things. And with these 3 things, there is expansion in it. In real estate, in agriculture, we have all kinds of form of agriculture, animal husbandry, even crop. I want to do crop production for now. I don't have the resilience for
Animals.
Because they'll just wake up one day and die.
You can't be Odozi.
I can't be Odozi. So, but for youths that want to pay attention to, that want to make a difference in their life in the next couple of 3, 4, 5 years, they should think in the direction of AI in tech, agriculture, real estate.
All right.
Thank
you so very much, the Big Ben. And Odozi Obodo. We are now moving to leadership. One thing we do in this, our VAR podcast, not minding that it's a birthday lecture for me, we move from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration. So we are now coming bit by bit. Odozi Obodo, we are now in leadership. Before we ask you about how the leadership is in this, our country, because we know everything rises and falls under leadership. And I want to ask, you talked about somebody, NYCN, not even that one. Even in normal political things, you see somebody that is old claiming youth. Like me, I told myself 5 years back or 6 years back that I can't youth. No, now that I cannot. So I want to ask, what qualities must the next generation of leaders possess to do better? What quality?
One, we must imbibe the spirit of anti-corruption. That is the first thing. When you hate corruption, you will build yourself in so many ways that your name will be synonymous with integrity, honesty, discipline, and you have good reputation. I use myself as example. You can't lure me into things with money, because money is a powerful tool you can use to either make or mar a future. Woman, the same thing, but money is the most powerful tool. Yeah. Now, if you come to Enugu, for instance, some people who don't understand the meaning of diplomatic status will tell you they are ambassador as title.
Yes, sir.
Your own is name.
Yes, no.
There are some people that if you go to their account, they don't have 5,000. They are Ambassador Comrade, Right Honorable. These are three names.
They calm down.
Three different
names in one. That person might have not cultivated value, economic, cultural, political value within the people in his or her vicinity. But he or she wants to be a comrade. He or she wants to be ambassador. He or she wants to be right honorable. Look at what is happening in UNN. The speaker suspended this person. After a few hours, the deputy speaker suspended the speaker. You know, counter suspension and suspension. So where do you come in? As SUG president, offer came to me. When I was president, IMT had about 24,000 students. Offer came to me to do a particular project which would mandate all the students to buy, to pay for, and get a copy of it. My pay in that particular offer would be 1,000 per student. If you times it to 24,000, it would give you 24 million. This thing I'm telling you, then I was living in one room. And I had just 2 months to the expiration of my office as the president. At the end of the day, after several meetings, I told them I wouldn't get involved because I knew how I came into power. I knew how students voted for me. Out of 30 departments, I won in 28. So it was a tsunami. Now I rejected it. I left office with just 35,000 naira as SUG president. This is a social media podcast. So many people would watch it. Thousands of people would watch it. But I want to let you know that amongst 11 members of the SUG, about 8 or 9 of us are car owners today. It's not just because of I was shouting greatest Baba. I had to inculture in them leadership quality that someone needs to get himself imbibed in. All of them are doing well, not involved in any negative thing to make money. But because we worked as a family, they learned so many things from me. And I learned so many things from some people who I looked up to. So if you want to be a good leader, first of all, you will serve. If you don't serve with every sense of sincerity and humility, you can never be a leader. Because even when you are leading, you are serving the people. So if you don't serve and you serve well, you will not lead and lead well.
All right, that's a very striking one from Odozio Bodo. I want to say thank you. If you're just joining us now, this is the VAR Podcast in celebration of my birthday, the 5th annual lecture. As always, thank you for always coming to liking our comments, also dropping your own comment and view and share it too. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the VAR Podcast, and also on Facebook. Now, the Big Ben, we go to you very fast before we ask the last question on leadership. What qualities must this young generation imbibe to do better? Seeing that there was a suspension of the SUG, as said by Monday Diamond. The speaker suspended by the deputy. What leadership?
People go into leadership with the wrong mindset. They think leadership is boss. Leadership is service. Leadership is selflessness. Leadership is not command. Leadership is being in the forefront while others walk behind you. You are not sending an army to the battlefield. You are going to the battlefield with the army. All right? The reason for such things or such occurrences is simple: greed. For the speaker to suspend the deputy speaker to suspend the speaker after the speaker suspended the president and the deputy. You understand? It's greed. There must be something that they don't agree on.
And it must be centered on money.
It's about money. It's not might. It is about money. All right? Or maybe some people were sidelining the transaction.
Yes.
And in retaliation, they now suspended this, and this person now suspended this person. And The whole idea and concept of leadership, it's about the interest of the people following and not even about you. If we have the interest, the general interest at heart before our personal, our interest is small. What we need is small. As I am now, I don't have need for 10 cars, even though I have a number of it. But I don't have need for 10 cars. I don't have need for unnecessary, or not unnecessary, let me not call it unnecessary, unethical acquisition of wealth. Unethical. Now, wealth acquisition is very important to me, but the unethical means of acquiring it is something I do not, want. Because it involves so many things that I cannot sleep well about. So, like Odozobodo said, his interest in the transaction was 24 million. But he chose the interest of the student over his own. For him, 24 million is a lot of money. But if he doesn't take it, the student in its entirety will be under lesser financial burden. And that is what leadership is all about. Making life easy and the environment thriving for everybody to live a quality life. All right. So what people must look out for, what quality people that want to go into leadership must possess, is selflessness. It is not about you, it's about the people. Because whoever sits there is sitting there on behalf of the people. So every decision, every policy must be in favor of the people and not Dracula. Thank you.
Wow. Odozobodo, it is not about us, but about the people.
Yes.
On that premise of Big Ben, Odozobodo, it is not about us, but them. We are climaxing. We don't want it to go to the federal like we discussed now when you talk about the politics. Nigeria is not good up there. Let's come down a bit. How do we hold our leaders accountable before we get into power? How do I mean? Those who don't want to go too far. How do we hold our local government chairman responsible before we talk about the governor and every other person? So how do young people hold these people accountable?
Thank you. The system is very complex.
Let's make this first. Let's start from the local government that is small.
Okay. Well, the people are the larger configuration of the entity known as Nigeria. Remember, anywhere you go, the leaders are always few persons, while the people that are leading constitute the larger percentage of the populace. For instance, in China, the president of China didn't emerge through general election. Some elites who represent certain interests would come together and nominate the president. And you can see what the Chinese president is doing. Perhaps he was nominated based on track record of integrity, record of competence, mental capacity, and so on and so forth. And he has turned China to the economic capital of the world. Without apologies to anyone, China is number one in the economy. Such a thing could happen in Nigeria if we begin to look downwards and say, let the person that has the best mental capacity to be the local government chairman emerge. One of the problems we have in Nigeria is that so many people who get into politics are settled with positions, one position or the other, because you canvass for someone who emerged governor, then you're entitled to a particular position. And that at the end of the day, you will find out that in a state that has 20 local governments and 20 local government chairmen, if you filter them, if you use AI to do scientific check, you will discover that 4 or 5 are actually qualified to be local government chairmen. So how do we hold them accountable? We need to do proper research.
Okay.
We need to find out what is the federal allocation coming into that particular local government. What is the number of workforce that the local government pays through the HPM? We also need to find out the projects that the local government chairman carries out in the first 6 months and maybe in the first 1 year. They need to metamorphose to the duration, the administrative duration of that particular local government chairman. I don't believe in the ideology of destructive criticism. You could do a proper research. You could come up with something and write. You ask questions. Then our youth should also get involved in public engagement, town hall meetings. How many youth in different local government areas have come out or have come up with a proposal, a template for town hall meeting?
Would they agree?
If the local government chairman doesn't endorse it, the youth can also source for support. It's not a must that the local government chairman sponsors a town hall meeting you want to organize. It's not even right.
Yes.
Because if the local government chairman sponsors a town hall meeting that an individual is coming up with, there is no way issues that borders on the scrutiny of that particular local government council will be discussed.
Okay, Odojobo, I'm not cutting you, but I want to ask this because you've been in the political terrain. There is one word that most of these local government chairmen are afraid of. You see that word, accountable. Most times when you want to ask them, let's know what you're doing with our money, sometimes it infuriates them as if it is wrong to ask for accountability.
You are right. Asking for accountability is not wrong, but the process whereby the questionnaire, the researcher applied to ask for that accountability might be either right or wrong. See, Ambassador,
Yeah.
if you're a young person and you are capacity endowed, intellectually certified, even if the government in power or political elite around you are scared of you, there will come a time when they will find you indispensable or inevitable because of what you have acquired. And that boils down to making research. If your local government earns 180 million allocation in a month and you find out the workforce and it is accurate, and you write a letter to the local government chairman asking him what is happening. You earn this amount of money every month as a location. What have you done? You could do that on a private mail. If he ignores, you take record of that. You can write again as a reminder. If he ignores, then you may now come to public.
To now say...
Yes, that is the first stage of constructive criticism. But if you just come to a WhatsApp group chat and say, our local government chairman is embezzling our money, the word "our money" makes it comparatively the common patrimony, which simply means that you are part of the owner of that money. Now, if you are part of the owner of that money, what are you doing as a citizen to make Nigeria better? Are you the type that when you are in a place and national anthem is being sung, you sit down? Are you the type that drink sachet water and instead of looking for a waste bin, you drop it on the road? Are you this type that you are in a keke to recycle and you collect food from somebody that is vulnerable inside that keke as a criminal? Sometimes even the criminals criticize government, but they're also criminals. depends on the types of crime you commit. And I admonish our youth, before you go into politics, make sure you have a source of income. If you go into politics without having a source of income, you are bound to either becoming a political thug, an OES member, or a delusioned political entrepreneur.
All right. Thank you very much, Odozie Obodo. Because of want of time, subsequently we'll keep bringing you up, but because of our listeners and want of time. Big Ben, on a quick one, before we now go to the final thing we have for today. We talked about the state of our dream, youth, leadership, and the urgency of now. As somebody that is into youth leadership, how do you see that word accountable? And do you think our leaders are accountable? And how can we hold them accountable? Not just political leaders, leaders in all ramifications. It's a very quick one.
Accountability is a two-way traffic. And whenever the word accountability is mentioned, we look at the presidents, the senator, the governors. But let's talk about ourselves. 2 years ago, I was in Rwanda. So we got to the airport and they forgot our bag. The airlines did not come with our bags. So they gave us a note and asked us to go, that we should come back at a certain time the following day to pick up our bags. That they left it in the transit Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Yeah. Because I used Ethiopia airline. When we came back, so we gave them the piece of paper they gave us, and they gave us our bags. And we were expecting, say thank you, have a great holiday. And we left. We got to the hotel. What did I notice there? No one asked us for anything. When we were at the hotel, on the day we were supposed to leave in the night, we had some of their currency. We're not doing anything with it now once we come back to Nigeria. So we all those waitress and the guys there said, okay, take. They said no. They're doing their job. We said no, we insist that you take it because we are traveling back this night. And if we get back to Nigeria, this money becomes useless to us. So why don't you just take it? It was on that note that they accepted the money. Yes, it was on that note. When we got back to Lagos, they heard us and said that we should give them money. Cannot deport me. I'm already in Nigeria. You cannot deport me. I told them I don't have money, that I just came back. They said I should give them dollars. The boldness with which you are asking me to give you dollars. I'm coming back to my country. But you want the governor to be accountable to the resources at his disposal, but you at the gates for receiving travelers, both Nigerians and non-Nigerians, foreigners. You are being corrupt at that point. Let's go to the civil service offices. This afternoon, it was me and Ezudo that went to follow up our file. A file we made this payment over 3 months ago. The file has been on a desk for more than a month. So the guys in the ministry that are following it up for me called me and said I should please come on. That he doesn't know why this file have not moved from that table. So I came to the office. Luckily, it was somebody that knows me and I know him. So I was like, Chief, my file has been on your table. I don't understand what's going on. He said, oh no, there is something, blah, 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 blah. He said, okay, what will you do for us now so that the file will move? We shouldn't be talking about the president or the government. Let's talk about the people that are in the lowest civil service office. Because that is where the thing comes from. So for someone at level I don't know the levels in civil service, but let's say level 9. I don't know if the person is a top staff, but let's say level 9. The person is aiming to get to level 14. They're already preparing, planning on what they will do, how to make money for themselves when they get to level 14. And you want the governor to be accountable. So while we are talking about the politicians, the political office holders being accountable, we as individuals should also be accountable. Now, it begins at home. It is not, I always tell people, it's not, that thing you're looking for is always home. It is not far away. It's for you to just sit down, look at the necessary places to make adjustments. Now, the police, let's talk about the police. The police will argue. The policemen on the streets will argue that they are not being catered for. They're not being catered for. That the federal government this, federal government that. Yes, IG this, IG that. But you that is in the division where the road bail is free, how are you handling the matter when someone is meant to be bailed? So it's about accountability starts from the bottom to the top. It doesn't come from the top to the bottom.
It's geometrical progression.
Yes, because it's people at the bottom that will eventually come to the top. If you're not accountable when you're at the bottom, you cannot be accountable when you get to the top. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much, Big Ben and Odozie Obodo. Odozie Obodo came to the studio in the morning and unraveled some things that you know that this person is vast in what he does. As we come to a close of this particular segment, and to thank them for coming over to honor me, seeing that it is the 5th birthday virtual celebration. But we are hopeful that in 2026 it will no longer be a virtual thing. It will not be like a conference. Yes, a one-day conference. We've talked about the youth. We've talked about leadership. It is said that everything rises and falls under leadership. You talked about the Nepal incidents in the morning. You're repeating the Nepal stuff again because it is the newest. And you also borrowed one of the slangs for revolution now. Now we are talking about leadership. The word leadership and the urgency of now. Because when we started, we said there must be a call to action. Why is it critical? This question, I would need both of you to do justice, but 2 minutes because we're almost come to a close. Why is it critical now for the young people and leadership in Nigeria? If a 39-year-old person could do it in France, don't you think if we wait further, it will be disastrous and catastrophic? So what do you have to say? Why is it critical now? Let Mr. Victor contest for the House of Representatives now that is 25, 28. No longer clamoring for
SPA or SA.
Yes, waiting for an appointment. Why is it critical now? And why do we need leadership now? Odozie Obodo, why?
We need leadership now because things have gone from bad to worse in Nigeria. But it's not all about age. It's not all about being a youth or not. Nigeria at this point in time needs a leader that has passion for a better Nigeria. Let me tell you, if a 30-year-old person emerges the president of Nigeria, he may not do well because of the nature of our political system. So Nigeria needs cleansing political cleansing. That cleansing would take a particular phase. After that cleansing, then you can talk about younger persons. Yeah, Burkina Faso President Ibrahim Traore is there through the instrumentality of coup d'etat. And after that coup, there's this emotional revolution of love around him. And now he has become the trending president in the entire Africa because of what he does. It might work in Burkina Faso, but it may not work in Nigeria because of our population, because of our religion, because of our ethnic diversity, and because of the endemic corruptive nature of our politicians, recycling different political parties. The good ones may not be allowed to be declared as the president. You saw what happened in 2023. The person who actually won wasn't declared the winner. And the repercussion is telling on us. Before now, a liter of fuel was 200 naira. But at the value of the presidential speech, it skyrocketed to 600. From 600 to 800, from 800 to 1,000. There was a time it was 1,200. And funny enough, each time Christmas is approaching, in the southeast, it increases in price. But in the northeast and northwest, the price doesn't increase. So there are so many questions to ask. There are so many questions to ask. If you go to the far north, you will discover that out of 50 young persons who are drivers and Okada riders, only 5 have driving license. And out of 200 cars you count, about 100 cars have plate numbers. And about 150 cars are registered. What about the other ones? What is the security agency doing? So we have different problems from different segments, different regions of the country. So for us to find a solution, there must be political cleansing.
All right.
I don't want to sound, let what happened in Ghana so many years ago to happen in Nigeria.
This is Nigeria.
Yeah. But if young persons are to get involved in the polity and administration of this country and do it well, one, we have to be disciplined. If you are disciplined as a man, you can go to so many places. There are some people that at the mention of their name, a policeman will release someone in the cell.
Exactly. That
is reputation. And that is the kind of name I want to build. That is the kind of name I've tried to build around myself. It's not all about money.
All right.
And as a young politician, while you are serving, you serve with every sense of sincerity. Loyalty is not servitude. When loyalty becomes servitude, then the person who is serving you may not be happy if you starve him or her monetary gifts. Where you know if someone is actually serving you is when you don't give the person money deliberately for like 2 weeks or 1 month. Then you know the real color of that particular person.
All right.
So if we criticize, as Big Ben has said, if we say the government is corrupt, if we say the president or the governor is not doing well, what are we doing,
also doing
as young persons? Are you a man that says that something that is white? Look at the tenancy rates, not just in Enugu, not just in Ebonyi, in several places. You will discover that an agent who perhaps is not a graduate, you rent a flat in a particular new house, the rent is 800,000, agency fee is 400,000. They will tell you that there are 4 persons that searched for the house. So this person searched for the house and called the other person, and 4 of them are standing at the 4 cubicles of the house, so that they will share the money equal. Then legal fee, then maintenance fee, then caution fee. Now the legal fee is the man who is the lawyer, your own lawyer. Are you going to go to court with the landlord? If you are going to court with the landlord, is the legal fee going to back you legally? Will the lawyer come to court and defend you? The management fee, who is managing the compound? Sometimes you enter a house and the caretaker is living around you, and they will tell you management fee. Who is managing? Is it the caretaker that is managing the compound, or who? Then caution fee. What are you cautioning the person for? Sometimes even the landlords use inferior materials to build their house, and they would tell you caution fee. What are you cautioning the person for? So corruption is endemic in our system. No one is exempted. We have to begin from somewhere. If you want to criticize the leader, purge yourself of your person and know if there's any way you are going astray as a person. If there's no way you are going astray as a person, then someone the courage to tell a leader you are not doing well.
Thank you very much, Odozie Obodo. You've just reminded me of a particular scripture in the Bible that said, he that must go must purge himself first.
Yes.
If you feel like you have no wrong in you, cast the first stone. So on a very quick one, thank you very much. And the Big Ben, we're coming to you very fast because this is the last question for this particular podcast. But before we ask that question to you, I want to sincerely say a very big thank you to both of you for coming to the studio today for this 5th birthday annual lecture of mine. Thank you to Odozie Obodo, a man who has over 15 years experience in public speaking, a compare of global standing, the founder, CEO of Monday Diamond Foundation, a man we can always trust, and a man whose integrity is still intact. And also thanking the Big Ben, CEO of Fieldface, and also the founder, Ben Nam Foundation, a very classical leadership guru for young people. On a final note, the Big Ben, the same question I asked Odozie Obodo: why is it critical for the urgency now for young people to step into the field and also for leadership of Nigeria? On a very quick one.
It's a matter of urgency simply because it's about the future and the future of the young people. So if you're talking about maximizing the future, young people maximizing their tomorrow, every action to maximize tomorrow must be started today. If you want to have a 10-year-old child tomorrow in the next 10 years, you should bear the child now, or bear the child at least in 9 months' time, so that in the next 10 years, you have a 10-year-old child. So leadership is, as Nigeria, if we're talking about in terms of Nigeria, it's a matter of urgency. And for young people to have better days and not worst days, starting now is the best time. If we started earlier, good, it would have been better for us. But we are where we are now. It's a matter of starting now, because for our future to get better and for our society, just like I said earlier, it has never been worse. For our society to be better tomorrow, every young person must see to it that they find their way to a leadership position, no matter how little. Forget about the title. I'm not even someone that like title. But those people, they said, Right Honorable Comrade Ambassador.
No, remove ambassador.
Okay, Right Honorable Comrade.
High Chief.
Honorable.
Yes.
High Chief. But zero impact. Leadership is about impact. Zero impact. So we must find ourselves in, no matter how little, a leadership position. If you're contributing your own quota, I'm contributing my own quota. Things get easier for us and better.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief Ben. Before we leave, just one sentence of advice or admonition to the young people. Just one sentence, one line.
Start now.
Thank you very much. Odozie Obodo, just one sentence.
Change begins with you. If you want a better Nigeria, be a better person. The habit mentality.